Hello, Karu and Nikki. It is the evening of the 18th of December, and I just watched Karu's most recent video. And actually, I don't think I responded to his previous video either. Neither. Or did I? I don't know. I have notes here. Completely uninteresting. So you talked in your last video mostly about mathematics, and actually I found it interesting. You know what I really enjoy is the passion that you show for bizarre and possibly what's the word I'm looking for? Trivial things. And I know you're going to say that this math isn't trivial, but it is trivial in that it doesn't have a direct application to what you're doing in any given moment. But that's what I find really interesting, and actually I enjoyed the whole video. I too find solace in trivial things, but I also think that trivial things that tell you something about the way the world works are more fun. Yeah, I don't know what that means. You talked about also football and watching the Patriots play the 49ers on Monday night, and I actually haven't watched any football. I watched the highlights on NFL.com, which, by the way, is a horribly done website, especially the way they organize and provide video content. But I did enjoy that. I do enjoy watching the highlights and kind of following what's going on in the NFL. Although, like I said, I don't watch any football. Christmas cards. I agree. Pictures of people besides children. Children are just they get over, I don't know, they get too much play, and they get selfish and they think it's all about them, and then you grow up to be an adult and you realize it's not. Just kidding. I don't know. I don't mind pictures of kids. Your incense burner, which reminded me that last weekend we went with the entire family to go see The Hobbit, which was really fun. We really enjoyed it, and it was fun because it was the six of us, Sarah and I and the four kids, plus Sarah's mom, plus Britton's friend Eleanor and Karu's friend Ryan. And so we took up almost a whole row in the theater, and we just went. And it's interesting because I've read some reviews of The Hobbit that, it's not a great film as a standalone film if you don't know anything, which I probably agree with. But at the same time, The Hobbit has had The Lord of the Rings has had a huge place in our family, and I remember I read it aloud to the kids at least twice, probably 3 or 4 times. And I remember, in particular, one time, actually I guess this was The Lord of the Rings, but we were driving from State College, Pennsylvania to Chicago so Sarah could go to an anthropology conference. And Britt and Karu were in the back seat, and I was reading The Lord of the Rings, and I read for like 12 hours or something in the car, and it was great. We loved it. It was just awesome and fun. And so, the Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit have that sort of history in our family, and so going to see The Hobbit was really cool. We really enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys have seen it yet. Be interested to know what you thought about it. I think we're going to go back and see it in 3D, which I've never seen a movie in 3D. I've seen clips in 3D for short periods. I've never been that impressed, but I'm curious about this movie because I know that the whole 48 frames per second. So I don't know if you guys heard, but Peter Jackson filmed this movie in 48 frames per second, and it's the first major film that's ever been filmed in 48 frames per second. And the 3D, they actually constructed custom 3D setups to do this movie. And so I'm kind of interested to see if I think that the 3D adds anything to it beyond what the 2D provided. I'm a little skeptical, but I need some empirical evidence. So anyway, your incense burner reminded me of The Hobbit, because there's evidence of a dragon in this movie. Actually, you don't really see the dragon. You get a close-up of its eye in this movie, but it was good. What else has been going on? I don't remember if I told you, last Friday I played, maybe it was it 2 Fridays ago now? It was 2 Fridays ago now, so I probably already told you about that. Let's see, you talked about going to spinning class, Drew. It's interesting because I think I told you that a while ago I gave blood and I was not feeling well when I was working out. I haven't been working out as much. I've been working out at least 3 times a week, often 4 times a week, but not. And I don't work that hard. But I've been working up to a higher resistance on the machine and feeling pretty good about it. And then I gave blood and I never got back up to that resistance I was before I gave blood, and I started feeling really tired. So what I've been doing now is I've been going longer time periods at lower resistances just to get my cardio going. And I'm enjoying that actually more. I think I just need to mix things up is all really. But it's boring. Nobody wants to hear about that. Let's see. I was going to tell you about something else. Lionel Messi. I don't know if you've been following this, but Lionel Messi, if you don't know who Lionel Messi is, look him up. He's a Argentinian soccer player who plays for Barcelona, and he actually has set a record for the most goals scored in a calendar year this year. He's scored to date 90 goals. I think he still has 2 games left. I could be wrong. Maybe it's only 1. But the previous record was by Gerd Muller, the German Gerd Muller, and he had scored 85 goals in a year, and it was 40 years ago. So it's pretty amazing that Messi has beaten his record. And if you haven't seen Messi, you can go on YouTube and you can look up. There's a video like 12 minutes long that shows all his first 86 goals when he broke the record. But he's an amazing player. I really like, and he's got an interesting backstory as well. I don't know if he's from Argentina and apparently had some growth hormone disorder, and he was playing for a youth squad in Argentina, and they was diagnosed with this problem. And so his family couldn't afford the treatment, and none of the teams in Argentina wanted to pay for it. So Barcelona moved him to Spain and said, if you go in our youth academy, we'll pay for your treatment. And so they treated him for this problem and put him through the youth academy. He came up through the Barcelona system, and now he's won Player of the Year the previous 3 years. And there's no way he's not going to win it this year, because he's had the best goal scoring season of any player in the history of soccer. But the thing I like about him is he's small, he's super quick, he doesn't do a lot of tricks. He just tends to beat people with quickness and intelligence and passing and just masterful control, obviously. And so, but part of it is that, actually it's interesting because I've seen debates about he versus Cristiano Ronaldo. And Ronaldo, is a Portuguese guy who's like 6'1" or something. He's a big guy, very strong fellow, and does lots of tricks, and played for Man United first and now is playing for Real Madrid. And I've heard arguments saying that, well, Ronaldo's a better player than Messi because he can do more, he's bigger and stronger and can do more tricks. And Messi just is a system player. He plays in the Barcelona system. He grew up playing with all these players. He's on the best team in the world, and he just benefits from that. And I think that's sort of the same argument maybe I like Messi because he's kind of more like Landon Donovan, is that he's not a big trick guy. He just does all the little things to score goals, everything that he has to do, and he also assists a lot of goals. So anyway, that's all I've been thinking about working on. Work, interestingly, this week we're kicking off a feasibility study to look at doing kind of a unified data management across the entire organization. And so we're working with a consultant out of Vancouver, Washington, and the two of the people from that company have been here the last 2 days doing interviews, and they did like 16 interviews with different people and held kind of a kickoff meeting, and very efficient. And I'm really excited because we're going to get an external review of the organization and what we can and can't think about doing. And I just, it's funny because I've been working on trying to get this type of thing done, not the feasibility study itself, but trying to do integrated information management for 8 years or something, since I took over as the IT director, 7 years I guess, and so I'm excited about that, the fact that this feasibility study is going to allow us to move forward with that. So yeah, it's been pretty cool this week. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and I will talk to you sooner rather than later. The last thing I forgot, I am filming this and I bought an external microphone for the video camera. So I have the external mic plugged in. It's a stereo microphone that should improve filming in certain conditions, and so I'm testing it out. So let me know what you think. Take care.